Your favourite dressing gown in the music reviewing game is back. Of course, by now you're all aware of this Drake Pusha T beef. I'm a bit late to it. It doesn't really matter because it's still being heavily talked about, so I thought I'd make a video talking about it in some way. Essentially, I'm just going to quickly reel off my thoughts on the whole thing. It's been fucking awesome. It's been so good. Oh my god, I mean, drama, that kind of gossip type shit, it's never really been my thing. I mean, I'm not a DJ Academics. That guy's a piece of shit. I mean, you all should know this by now. You know, leeching off of people's personal drama and making like videos off of it is never been my style. I just find that stuff gross, to be honest. Not necessarily a terrible thing to do, but to just kind of build your career around that, I just kind of hate. But when it comes to like a proper solid, like a through and through rap beef, I'm always down for one of those. And at this point, I would say it's got pretty nasty. I mean, it started off a little bit drama-esque, you know, like school type stuff, as we've kind of seen Pusha T go at Drake for years now. Every now and then he'll release a track on an album that's quite clearly targeted towards Drake. Drake hasn't really rose up to it that much, like, ever, to be honest. I mean, Drake occasionally makes a song where he'll talk about his insecurities a little bit, sort of reel off his feelings about how he doesn't feel accepted in the rap game. But after Infrared, Drake decided to drop a track fighting off Pusha T in a way, sort of throwing out bars that were like attacking him and sort of revealing some sort of truths, and it was actually pretty good. Now, considering for a long time Drake's essentially been a pop star or a pop artist, it was good to see him drop a straight up rap song that had good bars, because it's been pretty long since we've heard something like that from Drake, or at least what I can say that I've heard from Drake, because, you know, More Life was boring as hell. His past few songs have been pretty pop oriented, and you know, it was cool to see that, okay, we have a little beef stirring up here, you know. Ooh. Even if he did drop a few stupid lines like Pusha T's not top 5 on good music, I mean, come on. A label with Designer on it, you're fucking top 2. You just are with him on that label. Corey Feldman would be fucking top 3 if he was on that label. Jesus Christ, have you heard Designer? No. Now, for anyone that doesn't know hip-hop in the same way that true hip-hop heads do, they would probably see Pusha T's attempts to get a rise out of Drake as a little bit desperate, sort of like a lower tier rapper, you know, attacking someone who's at the top. It's kind of obvious, it's kind of embedded into, you know, competitive nature, and people may see it as like, oh really, like, you're nowhere near as good as Drake, you know, you're not as popular as Drake, why are you trying to take Drake down? And yeah, even though the stands are annoying enough to want you to rile them up just so you can attack Drake, it's kind of low-hanging fruit at this point. Not in the sense that, oh, you shouldn't criticize an artist just because everyone else is doing it, or criticize anything just because everyone else is doing it, but mostly because I think Drake's kind of solidified himself as a pop artist. You know, there's no real reason to go at him. He's not really a rapper's rapper. He's kind of in his own lane, doing his own thing, and that's okay, it's cool. But I think a lot of rappers out there kind of want to take him down because rap should be about the lyrics, and Drake isn't really the most lyrical guy. I mean, so many of his singles have shown that and proven that. He's not particularly the most lyrically penned type guy, you know. He's not an Elzai, he's not really a Kendrick, he's not really a Black Thought or a Q-Tip. But it turns out this beef has been worth it, because, I mean, last time we saw Drake go at someone, it was Meek Mill, and let's be honest, Meek Mill, not a good rapper. I mean, lower than Drake. So we've got an actual good rapper going at Drake here, and my god, he went in. He really just ripped off Drake's balls, essentially. He just took his balls away, and that's the end of it. Now, the reason why I've made this video is because a lot of people, I feel as though it could be Drake's stans, just trying to do anything they can to defend Drake, or to kind of take away from the fact that Drake has really been absolutely bodied here. But also, you know, they're saying like, you know, he's Pusha T, went a little too far. Pusha T went too far. You know, he went at his family, went at his personal life, and that's not what it should be about. Because initially it was about ghostwriting, and essentially that's really enough to kind of take someone down. I mean, ghostwriting shouldn't really be that much of a thing in hip hop. It should be about the rapper themselves writing their own songs, and I stand by that, even though ghostwriting has been going on longer than people realize, but it's definitely more common today. And that's really as far as you can really take your argument. I mean, you know, you can attack an artist and be like, yeah, you know, you don't write your own songs, you're not as good as you say you are, you're not really the one that people put you up as to be. There are better out there than you, and you should be writing your own songs. But like I've said, he's more of a pop artist now, and that's always been a thing in pop music. So taking Drake down just based on that isn't really anything no one's done before. And so you do need something else, and Pusha T went beyond the line. Pusha T went in on his family, saying things about him being a bad father and the fact that he actually is a father that people may not have already known about, saying things about his own experiences as being like a child and his father leaving him, and then essentially Drake doing the same thing to his son, you know, and how he should be providing for the mother of that baby as well, and things like that. And people have kind of posed the question, well, is this too far? Is this what should rap beefs be about this? And I, for one, feel as though that people have kind of overreacted to that, to be honest. I mean, sure, the majority of people have kind of praised Pusha T for what he's done, you know, the whole blackface thing that Drake's been a part of too, and Pusha T's, you know, revealed that. Another thing that not many people knew about. And I don't really think that Pusha's gone out of line, really, with what the things he says. I mean, if he'd named people's names, or, you know, threatened to like do things to anyone that was in his family, I'd say that would be far. That would, when it becomes a threat to someone's life, then yeah, you know, that's too far. But then again, it's just a song, so you may say that, but doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna do it. It may just be for shock value. But I'm not exactly surprised that people have come out and said these kind of things. I mean, come on, we're in a very hypersensitive era. You know, a rap beef to some people is probably too much. I mean, you're going to see people like, why is Drake and Pusha T arguing? There are more things to argue about, you know, well, there are more things to be, you know, there's going to be that. Whereas, you know, like the hip-hop heads are going to be like straight in on this and excited about what's going on. And they're probably not really going to think much of it. But yeah, if you're kind of outside of this circle, you may look at this and think it's too violent and too aggressive, and that's fine. But I don't really think anything here has been necessarily dangerous or too far, as some people may even call it. Because that's really what rap beefs are always about. I mean, if you're going to take someone down, you really have to go in at them and give them more than what the other person can handle, because that's really essentially what it's about. I mean, if you ever watch a rap battle, that's what happens too. I mean, people say things pretty intense, you know, and I don't particularly think anything here is out of line. But what is too far? I mean, what do you think is too far? And if you are a fan of any of these artists, do you think anything Pusha T said was bad? Or, you know, too much? Let me know, because I feel as though there's a lot of opinions on this, and I think more people will kind of come out the woodwork and express how they feel about this as the question gets asked. But to me, I just don't really see much of it. I would like more of this in hip-hop, if anything. The competitive spirit has definitely died down. Definitely died down. I don't care what anyone says. In hip-hop, that competitiveness is gone, you know? Fucking Joyner Lucas and Logic, that whole thing was absolutely pathetic. Logic essentially like, oh, you're my friend, it's okay, we're cool. You know, and that's fine if you are, like, friends with someone in rap, but I still feel like you can still kind of butt heads with a friend and sort of like debate them about things and kind of act like, well, you know, I'm the better one, you know, I should be the top of the game. Like, that's kind of what rap was built on, and I want more of that now. But in this era of new sort of like rappers, you know, you got your Lil Xans, all that kind of shit, that's kind of died off, and it's just more about making a vibe and telling people how many drugs you took overnight because you're sad or whatever, which is essentially way more harmful than anything that's gone on between these two right now. But I digress. I don't know if people will agree with that or not. Yeah, so let me know. I mean, how far is too far? Could you give an example, or could you sort of state how you feel about what would be too far, or do you feel as though it doesn't really matter? Say what you want. It's a rap beef, you know. No holds barred. It's a wrestling match. You can just fucking get the steel chairs, smack them over the face, throw it in their mouth or something. You know, it's all good. I mean, shove it down their throat. Is that okay? I don't even know what I'm saying. Let me know, comment, and yeah, if you like this video, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, reviews, podcasts, all that kind of stuff, everything music related, and have a good day. I'm quite warm now because this is a warm day and this is sweaty, you know, it's warm.